Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker is said to have many different twists and turns, as well as surprises in this movie by writer and director J.J. Abrams and Chris Terrio. This is Mike Zero. If you guys are new to the channel, do make sure to subscribe to see future Star Wars content. Now, one of the things about this film that a lot of people are very invested in and are very excited about are, of course, all the different connections to the past movies by, of course, J.J. Abrams. We're talking about the prequels, the originals, and even the unexplained territory between the events of course, the sequels and the originals, which is, of course, lightly and loosely explained in current books, novels, and different pieces of canon material. Now, these past couple of weeks or so, we've been learning a whole lot more about this film when it all comes down to one of the concept art descriptions. This is where things begin to get very exciting, involving Kylo Ren, the Knights of Ren, Supreme Leader Snoke, as well as Emperor Palpatine, specifically Snoke's big secret in the movie. Now, specifically, what's really intriguing is that it's described that one of the sequences that were shot during the month of December included a scene in which Kylo Ren and the Knights of Ren go inside of an abandoned First Order base on an unknown world in the Outer Rim. It's described that they are entering what is said to be Snoke's vault that he kept locked away that contains many secrets and plans for the future. The next goes over Kylo ordering one of his knights to blow the door open with an explosive, where as they enter, it's described that Kylo begins to play an old hologram by Snoke, revealing how he adopted some of the plans of Emperor Palpatine to discover the location and the power of the Beyond. It's said that throughout the plot of the film, it's about finding all the necessary pieces to the puzzle to discover the Beyond and understand what it really is. It's described that in the Snoke hologram, he reveals Palpatine's ideology as well as his discovery. The last goes over Kylo activating a map that was also left by Snoke, a holo map revealing a route to the world in the unknown regions. So I want to go over a couple of parts about this. Now, we do know that Palpatine is going to be quite prominent and significant in this movie in a very unique way by J.J. Abrams. And this seems like the very beginning of Palpatine's involvement in Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker. Now, what's really interesting to me is that this is actually what's going to turn out to be the First Order headquarters, most likely, this abandoned First Order base that we've been talking about, that Kylo Ren and the Knights of Ren travel to. And we also know that at the very end of the film, within the third act, there is the actual headquarters of the First Order, where a massive land battle takes place. So in this scenario, alright, what's really intriguing to me, though, is how Snoke, in the form of a hologram, reveals to Kylo Ren and the Knights of Ren indirectly about he adopting the plans of Emperor Palpatine and pretty much discovering what the Beyond really is and exactly what kind of power it really holds. And the whole entire plot is really about the evolving MacGuffin in this movie, which, by the way, is a plot device that moves the characters forward. So the plot device evolving most definitely has something to do with the Beyond, because we do know that the Beyond has a big connection to the plot device that does indeed evolve in this movie. Now, the thing that really stands out to me the most, however, is that Snoke actually also left behind a holomap that reveals a certain location in the unknown regions, a specific unknown world that Kylo Ren and the Knights of Ren eventually travel to. Now, this most likely is the same exact world that we have been talking about a couple of weeks ago, in which Kylo and his knights eventually find a abandoned ship that crash landed on that world, which is actually the ship of Grand Admiral Thrawn, where you get to hear the radio transmission of Thrawn before he crashed. So that's going to be a little nod and or Easter egg to that character from Star Wars Rebels, and you can already see all the connections that J.J. Abrams is trying to make here. So this big secret by Supreme Leader Snoke, not only adopting Emperor Palpatine's ideology, but also really kind of just taking his discovery about the Beyond and the power that it really holds, and the location, or at least the location of the piece to the actual puzzle of its location being in the unknown regions. And this could most certainly tie directly into the books, where we learn exactly why Palpatine, or should I say Snoke, was based within the unknown regions, where he hid out there. He basically stayed out there to stay away from the Resistance and the New Republic from discovering their location and what they were really up to. But there was always more to the story. Even Palpatine felt a dark presence with the new villain in Episode 9, as we have heard that this new villain has a deep connection to the Beyond. So you can really see all the crazy things that J.J. Abrams is trying to do in this movie in order to really fulfill the Skywalker saga and really make it feel complete. Now, my only issue with all of this is that I'm wondering if this is going to be a little too hard to understand for the casual viewer or for somebody that hasn't watched the Star Wars film before. In my point of view, it has to be straightforward and easygoing and pretty much, just easy to understand. If they complicate things too much, people will get lost in this story if they are just getting introduced to the Star Wars franchise. So that's another thing that Disney and Lucasfilm has to think about, I at least feel. So the whole entire idea of Snoke being incorporated into this movie in a different light, it seems like JJ is also trying to pay respect to that character. Again, like I say, if you really think about it, JJ never really got the chance to experiment with that character. He only got the chance to really use him in the form of a hologram here and there, which he's doing once again in Episode 9. So anyways, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.
From night to morning.